everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am so happy that you wanted to join me today because today we are going to talk about makeup. I have made a few makeup related videos about zero waste makeup, cruelty-free makeup. I've put together 10 low waste tips for makeup lovers. So people who enjoy playing around with makeup or expressing themselves through their appearances and through makeup can use these tips in order to minimize their impact and minimize the amount of trash they create whilst doing so. Also, in honor of this video, I put on a face that I am actually quite proud of. Have you seen? You feel? Okay, let's get started. I have found that a lot of the waste that's produced when talking about beauty products and makeup products in general is related to applicator packaging. So if you start by getting used to using a brush when you apply lipstick or you apply eyeliner, you can specifically choose these products that do come in a bigger container and thus save a lot of packaging on applicators. You can also find brands that offer refill services. It's not something that's super common in Denmark, but I know it is maybe more relevant to other people in other countries. You can also see if you can find any products that take back the packaging and repurpose it or reuse it or clean it and simply ship it off again. That's way better than it ending up in the trash anyway. When it comes to packaging, it is the fewest people that have access to completely 100% zero waste products. So instead of looking for the perfect bulk option, try to look for containers made of metal or paper or glass instead. It's way better than plastic, and often I find that I can use the containers whenever I'm finished with the product. So I use the containers at home for food storage and storage of pills and small bits and bobs. Or again, you can see if the company wants to take back the packaging. If it's a metal container, glass container, there's usually a recycling program connected to the company. You can at least ask it. Okay, so the next one is a big one, and it's something that I haven't had any issues with, but I know people are different and people are on different journeys. But I sincerely advise you to quit glitter and sparkles and all things on the spectrum of stuff that's shiny. Yeah, it's one of those things that I never really thought about it before going zero waste. But what's glitter made of? Glitter is a synthetic sparkle product and it's made from plastic. It is literally just microplastic, and we use it all the time. We use it especially with children, which I find to be oddly disturbing. And simply by cutting out stuff with glitter and synthetic sparkle in it, you can also save an insane amount of microplastic, which I mean, score, right? There also exist companies that produce biodegradable glitter and naturally made glitters. I haven't personally used any of them because for me at least, it's not really that big of an issue. I don't miss it whatsoever. I never really used it a ton. But if you find yourself to be really lacking something with that extra kick or that extra spark, try to look into biodegradable glitters if you need to. But if you're curious about low waste makeup routines and whatnot, then simply just try to avoid it, and simple. So we just talked about microplastic, and that comes in all shapes and sizes. But something you could also be on the lookout for is microbeads. Microbeads are slightly bigger, but they are also a microplastic adjacent, and they are often added to add texture to beauty products like scrubs and toothpastes and lotions and creams and whatnot. You can actually see them in many products, and I never really thought about the fact that they were actually plastic, but they are. Instead, you can obviously opt for products that do not have microbeads in them, but with scrubs and lotions and such, I actually just choose to make my own because they require so few ingredients, super simple. There's so many exfoliating products and moisturizers out there, but I have found that the natural and simplest solutions are actually also the best ones. So I made my own lotion, and there is a link to a recipe down below. But you can also use stuff like coconut oil or olive oil or even avocado and shea butter to make your own moisturizing creams, and they work like a charm. So cutting down on those big containers, big plastic containers that moisturizers usually comes in, will also help lowering your impact. Try to switch as many products you use from single-use and disposable products to reusable products. One of the easiest switches here is cotton rounds and just generally wipes that you use. Those are made of cotton, but they're usually single use only, and they are not really designed to be used multiple times. But you can get reusable cotton rounds. I use those every single day and I really, really love them. Another thing you can cut out is Q-tips. I don't use Q-tips, not for makeup purposes, neither for ear purposes. For ear cleaning purposes, cool. For ear cleaning purposes, I don't use a Q-tip. I use a bamboo stick instead that is simply just washed, wiped off and back into my little makeup container it goes. But if you want to use Q-tips for makeup correction purposes, you can simply also just use a cotton round. I know that some of these tips may seem super simple and maybe even a bit arbitrary, but I have found often, and I found that with myself as well, that these disposable products are incorporated into our daily routines to an extent where we even sometimes forget that they're actually even plastic and they are actually harmful to the environment. So by taking a step back and re-evaluating what do I need and what do I just do because I'm used to doing so, really helps lowering your impact in general, just overall. Buying less products is obviously the best solution and the most sustainable solution. So in order to do that, but still kind of having fun with makeup and experimenting and playing around and expressing yourself, what I like to do is that I like to have a few very basic shades and I mix and match them. So I have become really good at mixing the perfect lip color or mixing the perfect eye color. So instead of buying multiple different shades, I can add a little bit of dark if I need my lipsticks to be darker than the day before, and I can add a little bit of lighter colors in order to make it lighter. So instead of having 10 to 15 different shades of lipsticks, I can survive with 3. It's easier that way. The last tip is obviously a little bit more complex than something you can just do this second, but I still really want to include it and to advise you to do so. Try making your own beauty products. It may seem super weird or unsanitary or inefficient or adjectives, but I've been making my own beauty products for 4 years now and I absolutely love it. I've been making foundation powder, concealer, mascara, blushes, lipsticks, eyeshadows, everything. And everything is in a playlist which is also linked down below. So if you want to, you can go and check it out. Maybe it's not something you want to use every single day, but it's still a really nice step towards zero waste and towards getting more familiar with making stuff at home in general. And it's a really fun thing and you can do it with friends and it's great. You can also do it alone if you have no friends, like me. Wow, okay, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any zero waste beauty related tips, leave them down below and share them with the rest of the group. We will all love to know what you have to say. Also, if you have any questions, leave them down below. I will make sure to respond in a foreseeable future. And have a really nice day and take really good care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching this video, and also a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys help me create green zero waste content and I love you guys. You can find the links to my social media accounts down below and the link to my Patreon on this screen. Bye!